Toronto Raptors have shocked the NBA, starting the season 14-5 with big wins against the likes of the Cavs, Hawks and Bucks. The Raptors look like real contenders coming out of the East. Brandon Ingram has played a big part in their resurgence, and after his game winner against the Pacers, I think it is time we analyse them and see what makes them so good. Before we start, be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe, but let's get into it. First play is Quickley initiating the offense. Poeltl sets an off-ball screen for Ingram to get free. Ingram gets the ball and Mathurin and Siakam switch. Ingram realises Quickley has a better off Mathurin, so passes it back to him. Poeltl sets another screen for Quickley. He has a defender on his back and can either kick it out to the corner or push the floater. He pushes the floater and he gets the bucket. The next play is about offensive rebounding. Grady Dick does well to get the tap on the ball out to the perimeter, but the Raptors have 3 players fighting for the board, and when you get numbers in from different angles, the ball will bounce your way. Mamu does a give and go with Brandon Ingram. He sets a screen and rolls to the basket. Ingram has an isolation as sells Siakam with the pump fake and gets the bucket. Ingram sets a screen for Quickley, who has the ball. He screens and rolls to the top of the key and gets the ball. As he drives with the ball, he picks up to dribble and uses his long arms to get the ball over J Huff. Now, look at Mamu getting ready to crash the board or get ready for a pocket pass. Ingram does well to get that finish using his long frame. Poeltl gets the ball from the inbound. Off-ball screens are the key here to get Jamison Battle free. Agbaji sets a screen on TJ McConnell. There's miscommunication on the Pacers end. Jamison Battle realizes this, so he cuts to the basket, making it easy for Poeltl to make the pass, and he gets the lay. Playing quickly is important for the Raptors, and we see it here. From the inbound, Barnes drives with the ball. Quickley drives to the corner. He throws a pump fake, but Nembhard does well to stay with him. He passes it to Barnes, who receives it. Being aggressive with the pass is so important here, as he goes against Robertson's old momentum, who is eager to get out to Barnes on the perimeter. Spacing is vital too, because Dick is on the wing waiting for the free, so McConnell can't fully come over and help. As Isaiah Jackson is blocking the rim, Barnes fakes going up for the lay, makes him jump and passes to Poeltl, who is under the basket, available for the bucket pass. Sometimes you have to appreciate the pass. Quickley does well to find Poeltl, who has a straight drive to the rim. I have no clue what the Pacers were doing here. Once again, the aggressiveness in numbers is important here. Ben Shed sees a lane open to the rim and tries to get a layup, but it's blocked. But who's there? It is Mamu there to try get the second chance point and finish it over the smaller defender. Here Mama is initiating the offense. He plays a give and go with Quickley, where he drives to the basket. He receives the ball. Jacoby Walter sees that Mama is going to go up for the shot, so he gets in a position to fight for the offensive rebounding. Spacing once again is good here, because you can see Battle 3 in the corner as well. Another attack playing Quickley. Barnes with the drive with Quickley in the corner, who drains the free. Sorry to interrupt you, but around 95% of you are not subscribed. Now, obviously, I'd like to thank you guys for 100 subscribers. I appreciate that a lot, but we're going to try push 250 before the end of the year. So if you can subscribe, it will mean a lot. But let me let you guys get back into the video. Poeltl gets the ball at the top of the key. He has Quickley and Walter next to him. Walter cuts to the rim, Quickley doubles his movement by cutting, then coming to the perimeter to get the ball. He gets the ball, he receives the screen and has Nembhard on his back in the paint. Poeltl does well to take the attention of Huff, who isn't able to contest the shot, and the push shot goes in. Fast break points on display here. Quickley finds Walter, who loses Siakam. Nembhard goes to help out, but Barnes is behind him. Walter finds Barnes, who gets the layup. Ingram finishing on display here as well. He gets the ball from Quickley with 6 seconds left on the clock. Quickly gets to the corner, allowing Ingram to have a one-on-one. Walker does well to get a hand on the ball, but Ingram with a deep 2 gets the bucket. Barnes gets ready to set a screen. Mathurin wants to get ready to fight over it, so he shifts his body weight to the left. Quickly realizes this, so drives to the right where there's an open lane. As he drives, Jackson comes to help. Poeltl is in the paint and ready for the pocket pass. Nembhard tries to anticipate the pass, but in doing so leaves Walter open in the corner. Poeltl finds the open man and Walter hits the free. Ingram has the ball. Barnes opened the space up. He drives to the rim, so goes out to the perimeter. Ingram takes advantage of the space, drives to the paint. As he drives out to the paint, he sees Barnes on the wing. Jackson and Mathurin get attracted to the ball and go out to Barnes to close him out. This leaves Walter open for the corner 3. In this play, Walter does well to get a steal on Siakam. He misses the layup after a good contest by Pascal, but Ingram is there to back it up and dunk it in. He drives towards the rim. As he goes up, Jackson is there with the contest. Walter is also in the paint. Goes from the corner to under the basket for a pocket pass or fight for a defensive board. Ingram is out on the corner for the open 3. Quickley does well to get Jackson up in the air and find a pass to Ingram, who hits the 3. There it's Mamu who has the ball. Quickley goes around him. Ingram is available for the pass, but Nembhard does well to close the lane. He realizes the lane to the basket is now open, so he drives and tries to get a layup. Water anticipates a miss. TJ McConnell is ball watching, and Water gets in a position to get the offensive board and lay it in. Poeltl sets an off-ball screen from Brandon Ingram to get a free pass, and Siakam thinks the pass is going to Ingram, who cuts to the basket. So he tries to close the pass in the lane. As he shifts his body weight in that direction, Water reads this and drives using the open lane to get to the rim. Barnes sets an off-ball screen to get Ingram free. He receives the ball at the elbow, and his high release is very hard to contest. And the final play, Poeltl gets the block on Siakam, helping out from the weak side. Quickly advances to the half court with only 10 seconds left. Bear in mind they have 2 timeouts, but Darko done well to not call one. He gets the ball to the hot hand in Brandon Ingram. He has Siakam one-on-one, and the separation he creates by driving left is enough, and Brandon Ingram with the mid-range shot wins the game. I mean, what a game. What a win, and what a team the Toronto Raptors have been this year so far. I mean, a lot of people, they didn't have them performing this well. I mean, even if you're looking at their record, 14 wins, 5 losses, obviously some big wins against the likes of the Hawks, the Cavs, obviously the Bucks. But I think it's not their wins so much. I think everyone had them being an above 500 team. Of course, they had them getting wins. They probably had them getting in the playoffs, maybe as a 6th seed or a potential playing team. But obviously, they've done a lot better than everyone thought. I mean, Raptors fans would have told you that they were going to be this good, but I didn't think they'd anticipate being a 2nd place seed good, right? And, you know, the East, a lot of people do say it's not as good as the West, but it's not really an excuse for you to be bad. You still have to go out there and win your games, and that's exactly what the Toronto Raptors are doing. I mean, when you're looking at just their stats overall, they're 9th for points per game with 119.2 per game. They're 4th for assists with 29.6, which means they're moving their ball, the spacing is good, and the plays that Darko is creating for them is always going to help the players to get free, to hit open shots. If you're looking at their offensive rating, they're 7, averaging 117.4 offensive rating. If you look at their defensive rating, they're 4th, averaging 110.8 defensive rating per game. Net rating is 5th in the league at 6.5. And when you're looking at if a team is good, obviously offensively you need to be good, but defensively they are a very hard team. When you're looking at how they hold opponents, they are holding opponents to shooting only 52.9% in the field. They're a top 5 team when it comes to that. And what I like about this Raptors team is that they play fast and they play hard. When they get the ball, they don't give teams the time to settle on their defense. You see some teams, like the Clippers, for example, that's one that I can think off the top of my head. They play very slow, and when you play slow, it's very hard to get transition points, and it allows the opposition defense to get in their positions, to get set in stone, and to be able to communicate effectively on defense. But the Raptors don't allow you to do that. They play quick. As soon as they get the ball, they're trying to go out there. And I mean, they're 1st for fast break points, which is around 20 points per game. They're 5th for points in the paint, which is around 53.8. I mean, this Raptors team is good. If you're looking at the eye test, if you're looking at the stats, it's very, very good. And obviously, I touched on them being on the defensive end. I mean, they don't give up many fast break points. I mean, they're only giving up 13.3 opposition fast break points, and a lot of that is because they don't average many turnovers as well. They average 14 turnovers per game, or I think just below that, which is again in the top 5 in the NBA in terms of top 5 least in the NBA. So, I mean, the Toronto Raptors are a good team, and you know, they have a team where I feel like quite a few of their players had a point to prove, and when you have a point to prove, you're always going to be playing better, because you know that the whole world is watching. You know that critics are waiting there to say something bad about you, to say something negative about you. And last season, obviously, they didn't have the season that they would have wanted to, but with Brandon Ingram coming in, with, you know, I feel like with Brandon Ingram coming in, it's almost rejuvenated the team. And obviously, it's not only him, but I feel like, again, he's another player where a lot of people are talking about him, especially in New Orleans. Obviously, that New Orleans team, they didn't hit the heights that they would have wanted to, especially with like Zion Williamson, and obviously he had his injury problem with CJ McCollum. So again, it's another player who has a lot to prove. Same as Scottie Barnes. You know, when you're looking at Scottie Barnes, a lot of people thought he's going to be, you know, like a Giannis. Obviously, you can't be as good as Giannis because Giannis is an amazing player, but a lot of people thought he would be like a Giannis, but we haven't really seen it from him, or we've seen it in patches. We've seen some brilliance here and there, but we haven't seen it consistently. And now we're seeing this is the same with Quickley. A lot of people were doubting whether he is a good enough player to play for the Raptors and whether he can be, one of the most important players in the Raptors team. But again, he's proven that. RJ Barrett too, another player that, for the past few years, a lot of people have been talking about him. When's he going to take that next step? When's he going to take that leap? But again, it's another year and it's another player where he's exceeding expectations. And a lot of people will say, is it exceeding expectations, or are they just hitting the ones that, a lot of people thought they would eventually hit? But I mean, this Raptors team is good. I'm not going to sit here and say that at the start of the season they're one of the teams that I was going to watch, but I like Brandon Ingram as a player. I like Scottie Barnes as a player. I like their team individually. I like RJ Barrett as a player, but when I watched some of them play last season, it was kind of boring. By boring, I don't mean obviously they were still playing fast. They still had schemes that Darko was setting, but it just wasn't the Toronto Raptors that you're seeing here, and even the crowd can feel it. I mean, if you just look at the reactions after they hit the game winner, I mean, that's what NBA is about. It's about doing it for the fans. It's about hitting game winners, and it's about using the crowd to be that sixth man. And when the Raptors are good, their crowd is very good as well, and it's nice to see it. Obviously, the Raptors for the past few years haven't been great. Maybe this is their year. Who knows? And especially I'm kind of contradicting myself because I said obviously the East maybe not as strong as the West, but I feel like with the amount of injuries that the Celtics have, the Hawks, obviously Trae Young is out for a few weeks, few months. Bucks with Giannis, I mean, their team ain't the best. They really do have a chance. I mean, it's between, for me, the Raptors. Obviously, you got the Pistons who are doing great. You have the Heat that are doing great. Then obviously you have the Knicks and the Cavs. But again, I don't really believe in the Cavs. The Cavs are the one team where, like, the Knicks I can see make them conference finals. The Raptors, I can see if they carry on playing the way that they're playing, they could potentially make it because they have a very, very good defense and they have players that could affect the offense. The Pistons are the Pistons. They've been great. They've been the best team in the East easily and a top 2 team in the NBA. So maybe it is the Raptors. Maybe it is the year, obviously, after Kawhi Leonard, after James Harden, maybe it's time for them to get another shot at the title. Maybe it is time. But, I mean, you guys let me know what you think. I'm not going to sit here and say I watched a lot of the Raptors, but when I was planning my videos this week, I was looking at the Toronto Raptors and I was like, I really like the way they're playing. Every time I watched their highlights, I was like, I really want to watch a couple of games. So that's what I done. I sat down on the weekend. I watched a few of their games. I watched, the extended highlights. And after throughout this entire week, I've been watching all their games, albeit 2 or 3. And they're an interesting team to watch, man. They're a fun team to watch. And it's definitely a team to keep an eye out. Because if they're still doing this when it's 45 games into the season, then that's when they are a problem. Obviously, it's about 20 games into the season, but they're doing what they should be doing and they are winning games and they are playing a brand of basketball that that if they can get to the playoffs, it will serve them well. So it's important that they keep this momentum. It's important that they keep on fighting, and it's important that they keep on getting these wins on the board, because even if they do get to the playoffs and maybe they don't hit the heights in the playoffs that they may have wanted to, you want to give yourself the best shot at avoiding the better teams. Which for me, if you get the Pistons, they are easily the best team in the East. Obviously, the Knicks are a very good team and they're still trying to figure out stuff with their new head coach, Mike Brown. But I feel like the Pistons, yes, Raptors, a very good team. You probably want to avoid the Heat as well until obviously maybe the semi-finals, because the Heat for me are a very good team. But Raptors are a team where teams will be looking in the conference and be like, okay, cool, let's try avoid them. Just because of the way they play, just because of the brand of basketball, and also the fact that they have very, very good players. I mean, when it's time for the clutch, they always give the ball to the hot hand, which is very, very important. And against the Pacers, it was Brandon Ingram. But if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you guys have any ideas of any teams you'd like me to talk about, any teams you'd like me to analyze, please drop them below. And also one more thing, thank you for 100 subscribers. We are going to be pushing for that 250 hopefully by the end of the year. So again, be sure to subscribe. But anyways, I've been your host, Najib, and I'm out. Peace.